have I got on me?
In space, no one can. What a game, man. I have never genuinely been this stressed playing this long but incredible game. Alien Isolation is such an intense and complicated game to actually even attempt to explain. It wasn't very well received when it first came out, but is the extremely rare case of a game being retconned into becoming one of the Mount Rushmore of horror video games. It is one that has so much going to it, and one of the few pieces of media that actually gives us what we sufficiently want, and that is to be spooked. Okay. I know it was one of those rooms. I just didn't know where to go specifically, like which corridor I was supposed to head down towards. Oh god! This game is a solid 8 out of 10, and I'm not ashamed to say I suck or screamed. I did quite a lot, by the way. Don't play this game alone at 2 a.m. This game is what the newer movies really should be. Looking at you, Alien 3, Resurrection, Prometheus. I don't even know how to describe Alien Covenant. You're definitely not aging very well, Alien Romulus. AVP's pretty cool. This game is genuinely one of the most technically faithful and technically complicated games I've ever seen. Although in fairness, it is very easy to please me. Please, just give me 8 hours of free time in a game that I can just get myself into and we're good. I'm a simple man, just like that. Although in fairness, just not Alien Isolation at 2 in the morning, which is when I actually played this game most of the time. Graphically, outside of the face models being rendered, well, they're better than Colonial Marines, I'll give them that. It's a very beautiful and incredibly faithful game to the original Alien film. It's beautiful. I never use a flamethrower in a game usually, but man, it looks cool. And thank God it functions so incredibly well. Each part of the station is unique. Most of the areas generally look the same, but appear distinct enough and, more importantly to me, feel different enough that I wasn't so confused about where I was going. I'd never want to live there, but a nice space vacation, I'm all in for. The enemies, all 3 of them, are mixed. The human enemies are, the androids being an earlier and soulless looking machine, they can be a little bit haunting. Oh, but they do get the alien right. And I can't forget about the little spider monstrosities. Ugh, good lord, they are terrifying. They're haunting, gigantic, they are immensely intimidating, and something that has done justice that we haven't seen done for this iconic horror creature in a very, very long time. Just walk away. Those of you who don't know, my hands are sweating profusely right now. Gameplay will depend entirely on the type of game you want to play. You can't really kill the alien. You can kill everything else generally, but the alien is the ultimate stalker creature if there ever was one. Yes, I will say this, it is far better than the Nemesis. Not you, the Resident Evil 3 remake Nemesis, but good lord, you must survive numerous encounters with the creature. You must survive numerous encounters with the creature, either by distracting it with your varied arsenal, or stave it off with your flamethrower. Where are you? Oh god. The alien constantly moves around going through vents and using their incredible AIs. Yes, 2 AIs, which one always knows where you are and the other is constantly searching for you, which means you cannot stay in the same place forever. You actually do have to move. So if you're chicken, totally not like me though, but someone who cannot handle the stress of constantly having to act consistently and constantly just to survive for large sections of the game, then probably don't play this game, or make sure you take breaks, because this is the only game I've ever played where I audibly yelped in my entire life. The story is simple. You play as Amanda Ripley, who is told that they recovered the Nostromo black box. It may have information on her mother and professional alien killer, an actual female boss hero, Ellen, and her whereabouts. You need to go to the space station Sevastopol with a small crew of basically company men and women, no discrimination here, where an alien is on board and basically murdering everyone. Is there a queen? Not that queen, but an alien queen in this game, because there is a surprising amount of aliens and a huge ass nest. Questions I don't need answered, because the answer, if there was, and it was a playable section of the game, would actually give me a minor arrhythmia. But basically, the alien on board, you must escape and survive and ensure these creatures do not leave the station. A very simple story story, and honestly something that these Alien movies have been missing for so long. I cannot tell you how something so basic can genuinely feel extremely refreshing. Very, very, very long the game is, but very refreshing. Seriously though, I do have to get what I think is the biggest point and problem with this game, is that it is long. I don't have a problem with long games, but man, this game is long. For those of you who don't understand survival horror, at least as how I believe it and as a general concept, survival horror games tend to be shorter, mainly because of their general replay value and because there needs to be some breaks in between where you can actually breathe and not feel like you have to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes just to distress. That's why Resident Evil and the original Silent Hill games were the pinnacles and staples of what survival horror is. Because people need to remember, they're not very long games. You could probably beat the Resident Evil 1 remake, probably less than 3 hours just conventionally playing it. I know you could beat the original Resident Evil 2 games in probably less than 2 hours if you're just rushing like crazy. My mantra has always been, it needs to be shorter or more innovative as the game progresses, which this game, in fairness, does attempt to do, but that's why there are safe rooms in Resident Evil games. We just need to be able to breathe too. Again, normally I don't care, but survival horror is very specific, at least with me, and I attempted to just get through this story, and it still took me 10 hours, albeit I was cowering in fear most of the time. But I feel like if this game, generally speaking, if you're just trying to rush it, still is going to take you around 8 hours to do, that's quite a long game. One reason why I'm doing this particular review is because they're finally making a sequel to this game. Yay! Thank God, and is currently, as of the recording, in early development. It's a shame, and honestly, one thing I'm thankful today is the level of disdain people have for critics nowadays. Thank God. Because many people trash this game improperly as broken, or another Alien game that just wasn't of quality. It has many problems, many I haven't even addressed here because I like to be, more of a funny, cheeky boy. But some reviews of this game that initially came out were along the lines of, I couldn't beat this game because it was hard, or I only put a couple hours into it and that was all I needed to trash a game that at the time should have been revolutionary and a genuine step in the right direction. Which it was, and it should have been for how video games should have gone. Maybe it would have done a lot better in sales and we wouldn't have had to wait a full decade for a sequel to this game. Trust no critic, play the games for yourself to get your own views. Don't even trust me. Don't. I will betray you. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. I didn't initially get this game because of the critics, only recently playing it for the first time, I think a year and a half ago, and coming away from it blown away at how wrong I was completely. It isn't a masterpiece. I'm just gonna level with you right there. It's just not, and it's not gonna be a game for everyone, which is also why I think this game was critically panned the way it was. But for others to put it in such a high standard in the way that they have been in the last probably 7-8 years, I don't blame them, and I completely understand why this game is where it's at. Alien Isolation, you kicked my ass. And I think you're as close to a video game masterpiece as you probably can be, at least in my view, without being one in my eyes. You are so close though. But hey, at least you're finally getting that sequel. I'm actually panicking right now. I'm panicking. Just walk away. Oh God. Oh my God, are you... Oh my God, go away. Go away. Oh God. Oh God. Cheers.